Oh, there we go. I figured it out. It works. We are live. Cool.
Yay!
Welcome, everyone. Welcome once again to the True Mouse Games YouTube channel, and welcome to another episode of Roveia, the Lost Island, our D&D campaign. This is session 23, and we have a new face here, Lionel, who will be joining us for the final few sessions of this campaign. Apologies for the slight brightness of my background. I have a new webcam, and it doesn't seem to be doing quite so well with the window behind me. I'll try to figure it out until next time, or I will, I don't know, maybe build a wall behind the window or something, so that no more light comes in. Anyway, so to give a quick recap what happened last time, after our player characters defeated Hesperos the werewolf and his men, they traveled into the Broken Peaks to gain a Shadowbane flower for one of their number. Kalifos, the tiefling fighter, was bitten by the werewolf, and he had started to turn himself. Luckily, the Shadowbane flower and the medicine that was made from it seemed to help him get rid of this furry problem. And after that, they traveled to Thornshire, the biggest settlement on Roveia. As always, there is a map of the island underneath the video. You can click on that if you want to have an idea of where all the places we are talking about are. And they have arrived there only to be met with, well, Hadley, really, their servant, the bandit turned servant. They checked in on the Huntsmaster Gaian, who was also afflicted by the werewolf curse, but luckily he also was managed to be saved after being bitten by this very same werewolf that they had killed. And also talked to a man, a half-elf, I should say, called Erlathan, who had come over from Wondermere, the settlement on the western side of the island. They had met this guy before. He was an innkeeper of all things in Wondermere, but that was not why he was here. He was here to basically offer them information that he said had been given to him by his father, information on the Lightning Lord, this creature, this power that has been tormenting the lost island of Roveia for decades, and which shaped up to become the main enemy of our player characters in this campaign, seemingly. This Erlathan told them that he knew where the Lightning Lord is to be found, that he has, well, a castle in the clouds above the Titan Mountain. They were a bit surprised by that, and sort of not quite sure what to make of this man, this half-elf. The things went a bit sideways, I suppose, when Silas tried to enter his mind and realized that this man was being deceitful in a way. He was speaking truth in some ways, but trying to withhold his real motivation. He was being afraid of being punished by someone who had obviously sent him, or that is what Silas read in his mind, to give this information to the group. Nonetheless, they decided to work with Erlathan and to meet him in Wondermere in about 4 or 5 days or so, and then hopefully set out to once and for all end the tyranny of the Lightning Lord above the island of Roveia. And that's pretty much where we left off. Our heroes went to sleep in the Red Lady, one of the finer establishments of Thornshire, and they wake up on the next morning to a fairly clouded day with a bit of rain falling from the sky. It doesn't look like the weather's going to be improving much anytime soon. Quite the opposite, in fact. This might very well be some sort of storm rising up slowly in the sky. And just as they are sitting downstairs in the Red Lady in the morning, having breakfast, it being maybe about, I don't know, 8 o'clock or so, Hadley comes over to you guys, your table, and says, good morning. Excuse me, if you don't mind, you sent me to speak to the temple. Remember last night?
Yes.
Yes, I talked to the high priest and a couple of the acolytes there, and the high priest, he knows this man, this Zachariah, right? And he said that I should bring him the first thing in the morning. He doesn't seem to be responding. I tried knocking on his door. Has he left, or?
I'll go
Knock, knock. Wait, who am I echoing through?
That's Alex. This happens every time. Just it passes.
Okay, all right.
Also, first, good news, Alex. You're not actually live.
What?
I'm on the video. It's not live.
Cool. Well, it says live up there.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go knock on Zachariah's door as well.
Okay.
No response.
No response.
Knock a little louder. Try the door.
The door is unlocked, actually. Door opens.
Right. I was gonna like peek in
It
a little
smells like booze. Pretty,
Okay.
a quite significant amount of it.
Oh, okay.
You peek in, the shutters are closed. It's sort of fairly dark in the room, but you can see a unmoving shape on the bed. Hadley sort of behind you. It's like, is he all right? He's peeking in behind you through the door.
I'm just kind of like pushing back a little bit. And so I'm gonna go check on him real quick, and I'll just make sure that Zachariah is like breathing.
Okay, yeah, he is breathing.
Okay.
He seems fairly out of it though.
Okay.
Like on the bed, the facing the pillow, and just like drooling a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave him. Make sure he's like, you know, on the side, or like, you know, not gonna like drown himself in, you know.
Yeah, as you sort of slightly push him over, you just give this, and then sort of gives a wave.
I'm gonna let him be and tell Hadley it's like let him wake up on his own.
All right. I suppose I'll be around and yeah. I'll take him over to the tea. Maybe I should organize a cart or something. He doesn't really look like he'll be able to walk anytime soon.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right, I'll go do that. And he steps out, and just as he's leaving the tavern, he is sort of not shoved aside a bit by a man coming in. And you notice this man immediately. He's wearing a chainmail, a long sword at his hip, and he's dressed in black, a black uniform with like a scabbard on the side and like a cloak pushed over one shoulder. And you can see on his chest is the white and golden ship of Blackport, the crest of Baron Victor, your former / current employer. He's a pretty tall guy, cleanly shaven, short brown hair, but very, very short, a couple millimeters long at the most, sort of soldier style haircut, basically. He looks around and his eyes focus on you, and he takes a few steps closer and he says, "You're the ones, the mercenaries working for His Eminence Baron Victor?"
That would be us, yes.
Good, we have found you then. You have sent a letter to the Baron asking for reinforcements. My name is Lieutenant Devon. I'm leading 20 men of the City Watch of Blackport to reinforce you on this island. And he gives you a nod, and I will be right back. And comes back out. So Lionel, you've been standing outside while this was happening. The lieutenant basically told you, "I'll check it out first," and comes out, gives you a nod, and says, "Master Carlovell, they're in there. We found them."
Good. Good. No need to search them through the island then.
Yes, indeed. I suppose we should talk to see what it is they need us to do.
Yeah.
Men, he turns to the group of armed individuals that's standing behind you in the street. Take a break. I'll have you send you out some breakfast. The men start sitting down, just sitting on like benches on the side of the road, leaning against the house wall. The lieutenant steps back in and leads you to to a table, and on this table you can see 3 individuals: a fairly burly-looking half-orc woman dressed in leather armor, a human, so youngish, right? Silas is
like
sort of,
29, 30-ish.
yeah. So a youngish, a lanky, sort of medium-sized human man, and a heavily armored tiefling.
Hello there.
Good day. I'll describe. So you see dark skin and relatively tall man, older than your companion, about 35. He's wearing some loose clothes. You can't really see his figure and hands, but he's done quite effectively. His movement is fluid.
The lieutenant gives you know that this man has been hired by the Baron to help out. He's or so I'm told, a skilled mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
I have my ways.
Right.
Now.
You okay. Yes, you were saying?
You asked for help, assistance.
Yes.
The men that were sent with you were killed?
Yes, every single one of them, as far as we are aware.
He sits down.
Wasn't there one of them that didn't? That was
yeah.
in
That
town?
was that one guy. Yeah.
What happened to him?
We
You're not
left
quite
him with the
sure,
herbalist.
Yeah, you left him with the herbalist. That's the last time I think.
Yeah.
So, tell me, what is going on here? The Baron wishes to have this whole affair taken care of as quickly as possible.
There's a bit of a supernatural complication, so to speak. Don't know how much we. It's probably fine. There's this giant left on the island. You see.
Giant.
Yes. He apparently has a castle in the sky, and he's kidnapping people, from what we can tell.
A castle in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, that is a fairly defensible position.
Yeah.
I suppose. And you know where this castle is?
Roughly.
We just don't have the strength to deal with it. But now that you are here, that's probably a lot easier.
I was not prepared to fight a giant. To be honest.
Yeah.
We can see what we can do, I suppose. So
Yeah.
this giant is our primary concern then.
Yeah, we dealt
Hopefully.
with the pirates that was ravaging the traders, so that problem is dealt with.
Yes, we heard. The half-orc, the harbor master, whatever he is. We spoke to him not long ago.
Yeah. And then there's another problem that's not quite as pressing, that we don't really have a lot of information about.
And what would that be?
Blackmore apparently holds something that we don't know what it is, but it's something bad.
That is a swamp, right? On the southern side of the island.
South of the island.
Well, if that is not such a pressing concern, I suppose we should focus on this giant.
Yeah.
Is there no way to maybe attack this giant when he's not in his castle?
I think he's always in his castle. He sends his servants to fetch people in black mists.
So he has troops as well then?
Hmm?
What kind of troops does he have then?
Spiders,
Yeah.
hobgoblins,
Constructs.
crawlies, the odd demon, something. Something that looks like shadow, I don't know.
Yeah, the Spiderwoods up there, we were sent with a contingency of the troops that are now dead to the Spiderwoods. It turns out that the giant had enslaved the queen spider and was using it. So he's everywhere, basically.
Well, I didn't quite see how we can get up to this island, to this castle. If it's somewhere in the sky, we cannot
have a way.
fly.
We have a way to get up there.
You do?
Do we?
Yeah. Well, sort of. Halfway. We can get halfway there. We still need to fly.
Yes.
Yeah. Aside from that one tiny problem, yeah, we can get there.
Good.
Yeah, effectively.
So, where is this castle then?
Over the huge mountain to the northwest.
The Titan.
I see. So we have to climb the mountain.
Yep.
Then find a way.
Yep.
Good news is we have a guide up the mountain. It's just that last little bits that we haven't figured out yet.
We've hired local help.
Something like that. This is more of a mutually beneficial arrangement, but
Well,
There are fairies in the woods to the left. Maybe they have something. We should probably go talk to them.
fairies.
Yeah.
or fey creatures
Fey.
of some sort. Yeah.
Shit, the same.
I know little of these things, but they are not to be trusted usually, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd, honestly.
Also, there is a bit of a political situation to the forest to the south of here.
Political situation.
That's honestly don't even worry about that. It's
Well, I'm not a politician.
yeah.
Border disputes, shall we say?
Basically, yeah.
Not be border disputes on this island. Everything belongs to the Baron.
Yeah, I think.
There's disagreements
that's nice.
about claims to hunting rights.
He shakes his head. That is not something we want to do. I don't think. The
No.
Baron sent.
I
Fine.
don't think they are entirely aware that they now belong to the Baron either, and I don't think they are particularly receptive to this either.
Well, the Baron will remind him when he comes here himself, if necessary, I'm sure. But first, we need to prepare for his arrival by cleansing this island of, well, giants and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, what is the plan then?
We were
Go
going to
wings?
get to Wandermere and investigate around there before we head up to the Titan. We have about 5 days before our deadline is met.
He thinks for a moment, if I recall the map correctly, it will take us a while to get to Wandermere. At least 4 days or so.
Yeah, I think we can get there in 3 if we go by horse and just ride the entire way, don't stop.
Well, my men do not have horses.
No, they do not.
I suppose we could come after you if there is.
A ship arrives here actually in about a day or 2.
Actually, did you arrive just this morning?
We arrived last night, but came on land this morning. Why?
So wait. So you came by ship, yeah?
Indeed.
Is that ship still in port?
Not certain. The captain wanted to leave as quickly as possible.
Nah.
He might still be here, but he might already be gone. Why?
I mean, if we could hire that ship to take us around to Wandermere, that would save us a lot of time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to wait another day.
That could be possible. Yes. I will have some men look. Stands up. I'll be right back. In fact, maybe I should go myself. Just to make sure. This is important then, right? So, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
Stands up, gives you a nod, and leaves fairly quickly.
Right. One thing. First, we need to fetch a ship for Agon too.
Yeah, we can figure that out.
He can wait.
Well, honestly, he can. Salas doesn't really give two shits about Agon right now. I guess, yeah, I'll stand up and offer a hand to our new human friends, I guess. Yeah, introduce myself. Hello, I'm Silas Mendelssohn.
Hello, Kaluvel Ikram. Ikram.
You want to write that in chat so that people know how.
Write it.
Whichever chat you prefer. Yeah.
So, what exactly is it you do?
I'm a monk.
I spent one of those actually.
After a couple of years in the monastery, I've been able to take a chance and explore the world, discover new adventure and challenges.
Well, this island certainly is a challenge.
And as he's speaking, you see a small mice just peeking from a couple of these folds.
Oh, sorry. What?
A mice, because I'm an urchin. I have a mouse.
A mouse. Okay.
Nice. Not anyone. Only one.
One mouse. Yes. Okay.
One mouse. And this small one is Orca. She's a bit angry sometimes, but doesn't do much.
You can see what looks to be the head of a weasel poking out of one of the other humans' sort of pocket and sniffing the air.
Oh yeah, this is Tom. He's a weasel. He's nice.
He's a fey weasel.
That's Tom too. Excuse me.
It's true.
He's every bit as much a Tom as the first one.
No, she's just a mouse. A mouse.
Well, I'm gonna go talk to the guardsman about releasing Agon's wife, and
we've already talked to them.
Not today. They were going to release her today.
Yes, so what's the problem? Let them release her today.
We need to get them a boat, too.
Let them get the boat. They're adults. We have better things to do. Besides, we need to go find out if that boat's still in port, and we can twist somebody's arm into giving us a lift.
Right. Yeah.
Should we just go follow the lieutenant and figure out the boat situation?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll let Hadley know that we're heading towards the port, and assuming he's still around waiting for Zechariah to wake up.
Yeah, Hadley's still there. He's sitting like 2 tables down from you, like at the bar. So you want to head out soon? Do you want to take me with you, or?
The others are doing.
No, I think you can stay here and make sure Sakurai gets to the temple.
I mean,
to like Wandermere. Like, is he coming with us to Wandermere?
No.
No. Okay.
I see. I would not mind coming. but it is up to you, of course.
I mean, do we have anything for him to do anywhere?
I don't know. We could have him watch over Zechariah for a bit.
Yeah.
Until we figure out something better.
If you wish, of course.
Yeah.
All right. We're going. Goodbye. Make sure you get to the temple safe.
I see. Yes, of course. I will await your return as always.
Okay.
Otherwise, send message.
Thank you, Hadley.
Of course. Okay, so you leave the tavern. You want to grab all your stuff, or just for now walk with?
I don't think we're leaving straight away.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have horses and everything. That's right. So it's not.
Yeah. Like we're not expecting you to just get on the boat and go.
Yeah. You're also starting to robot, so if you could reload, please, Kevin. Thank you. Okay, so you march over to the. Does Carlovell go with them, or do you want to stay behind the tavern for now?
I'm going to go with them, as they'll most likely be my companion.
So you, as you step outside, you see about 20 men or so, sort of lounging around to the sides of the street, just having beer brought out by one of the serving girls. They look at you, and sort of a couple of them get up and sort of salute. But most of them just give you a nod, sort of more leisurely than anything.
Yeah, we're walking back to the port, the harbor. So if you want, I think it's okay if you stay here and enjoy your rest.
Of course, Master. We will stay here. One of the older men says, "You let us know if you need anything." The lieutenant said he's going to check out a ship or something.
Yeah, it will probably be him that will call upon you.
Of course. Okay, so you walk over to the harbor, and you can see there's a couple of smaller ships there, a couple of fishing vessels, and two larger vessels. A sort of longish, not particularly large ship that you have not seen before. It seems a bit older, but still fairly well crafted, with like a grayish sail. And the second ship, a larger one, that is tied up to the side, the very side of the harbor, a ship that you recognize. That is the Storm Eye, the pirate ship that you have captured. The masts are down and all the sails are down, so this doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. There's a couple of people walking up and down the ship, inspecting it from the looks of it. The other ship is about not that far to you, and you see there are several planks leading up, and people are carrying boxes and rolling like small barrels aboard as you approach. And you can see on board Lieutenant Davin standing there and seem to be in a slightly heated discussion with an older man who is dressed fairly finely, who you assume must be like the owner or captain or something.
Will we approach the vessel?
As you approach, the lieutenant turns over to you and says, "There they are. These are the men, or some of them. I want you to take over. It seems like it is fairly urgent." The older man looks at you and says, "As I have told this man before, I was only hired to bring you here to Thornshire and not to go anywhere else on this island. It is not in my interest, nor in the interest of my serpent, to try to find any other harbor here. This is the only one worth landing on. And I would do several days with a trip like you have suggested."
How much gold would that trip be worth then?
Well, you are prepared to pay.
Yeah.
Is that what you are saying?
Yep.
And you say, he looks over to the lieutenant, you say you want about 25 people transported, which
And
means that I
possibly
will
4
have
horses.
to get rid of 4 horses as well.
Well, I mean,
Most of my cargo to fit you all.
how about just us 4 and our horses? Not the other 20 people?
That would be easier. That would mean I could take at least half the cargo with me.
Mm-hmm.
But the lieutenant gives you a look and says, do you want us to stay behind then?
We can discuss this later. We're just discussing prices right now.
All right, then. Well, you say you want to go to this Wondermere village on the other side of the island. It will take us about a day and a half, probably, to get there, which means if we set out around noon, we will be there by tomorrow evening, which means I will be losing at least 3 days, maybe 4 days, depending, and quite a bit of cargo. But if you are prepared to pay, it will be 200 gold coins even for this trip.
Okay. Yeah. We'll think on this, I think. How long will you be in port?
About another hour to hour and a half. As soon as the ship is fully loaded, we will be leaving.
Lieutenant, can we talk to you?
Yes, of course. He sort of steps over the plank out back onto the pier.
So I don't think that bringing a whole army to the Titan is the best idea. Because then he will notice that we are there, and he has the power to kill a whole lot of people if he notices.
So, well,
Yeah.
what is it you propose then? We have come here to assist you. So
I think
we are supposed to obey your commands. You know you better than I do.
Well, it's not that he has asked specifically for us alone, and if we come marching with the whole army, I think he's going to notice that, and he's going to be very angry, and he might do something before we even get to him.
Wait, this...
Not to mention, the more people come there, the more people we have to somehow fly up to the castle.
Yeah.
Wait, this creature, this giant knows that you are coming? He invited you to come?
Yeah, we are going to get there before he invited us, so to speak.
And not to the place that he invited.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, if that is what you think is best, it is not usually tactically sound to follow the opponent's invitation, but...
No, but he does have the power to kill everyone on this island, pretty much, so we don't have much of a choice.
I see. So, if you want to leave us behind, what do you want us to do then?
I think recapturing Lion Keep might be a good idea. I don't think anything's taken up hold there, but...
The Lion Keep, I was told that you had already cleansed it.
Yes, but that was what the Lightning Lord attacked. Everyone was there when they all died.
I see. Well, having a fortified position in case that you need to fall back is, I suppose, not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Watch out for black mists.
Black mists?
Yes, that is what the Storm Lord, Lightning Lord, whatever, uses to attack everyone on the island.
Huh. I see. Is it some sort of poison or something, or?
We don't know. It seems like he summons creatures and hides them in the black mist, and the creatures kill people.
I see. Well, if we see something like that, we will be ready for trouble.
Yeah.
So, you want us to stay here then, and you'd want to take the ship yourself?
Yeah, I think that's the best idea.
All right then. If you think that is best, he looks at the rest of you. I suggest you should at least take Master Carlebel here.
Yeah.
He's a few pay grades above us. I suppose he could help you more than I can.
Yeah. I think quality over quantity is better here. That came out wrong.
I understand. I understand. Well, then, I suppose I will let you do what you need to do. There are a few things, well, specifically healing potions that were granted in case we need it. But I suppose if we will be doing most of the heavy fighting yourself, you might want a few of those.
Yeah, that would be very helpful, actually.
Yes, of course. They are with one of my men.
Perhaps we should scrounge up the money to pay this guy, so he doesn't take off without us.
I do have a big pile of Xander's money still.
Probably not the worst idea. Captain Marcus is not a patient man, if I may say so.
We should inform you that Sander, who came with us here too, is dead also.
Who?
One of the people we came with here.
One of the original ones.
By the barracks.
Yeah. I see. Well, such things happen, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, then let me organize the potions for you.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I guess I'm gonna go pay the captain.
Here's the thing: is a day worth 200 gold?
I mean,
is this a good time for haggling?
As much as I like money, what are we gonna do with 200 gold right now?
I don't know, but
the only thing worth buying for gold is healing potions. The herbalist has no more healing potions, and we're getting them for free.
Okay.
You want to walk with your money to Wandermere?
Yes, I was thinking of horsing there, but sure.
We save one day. Gives us time to actually go into the Blackmoor if we want to.
Sorry, I'm going to pay the man, unless there's any further objection.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, do we have a deal then?
I suppose we do. I'm going to count out 200 gold from this.
How many people, how many horses? You said 4 horses?
4 horses.
4 people.
And it's just be the 4 people.
Unless Carlavel wishes to buy his own horse, but I think we can do that in Wandermere.
I suppose. All right then, I will have my men.
Can't he just have Xander's horse?
Unload some of the cargo.
We didn't say we didn't, so.
No, you probably still have it with you. Yeah, I'm guessing you just use it as like a pack horse. I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, because like Hadley were the back from Owl Lake, so.
Yeah. All right then. I suppose it's a pleasure doing business with you. I will inquire how to get to this Wandermere and whether there are any dangers on the road, so to speak. We should be able to leave at noon. That gives you about 3 hours to get your things in order.
I'll go get our horses in order and have maybe Hadley help me with it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we just head back and start gathering our stuff to leave.
Okay. Well, you have about 3 hours. So what is there anything you want to do before you leave? Other than getting your stuff on board? And maybe grabbing a few healing potions?
Yeah. Nothing for me.
I mean, I'll just check on Zachariah one last time, see if Hadley's taken him to the temple or if he's even woken up yet. Or...
When you come back, he will be actually awake, and he will be sitting at the bar and just like sipping some sort of tea. Hadley's sort of standing next to him, looking a little nervous and impatient, but gives you a nod.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come up here. Sorry, go ahead.
Where are you going next then? You said Wandermere?
Yes, we're headed for Wandermere. How's Zachariah feeling? How you doing?
He looks up. Well, I can't say I feel particularly great, but this was needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
After a few weeks in captivity, you start to forget what laughter and peat sounds like and wine tastes like.
And just how bad a hanger I feel with it. Yeah. Has Hadley told you about the arrangement that, for us seeing you over to Ignatius?
Yes, I know him, obviously.
Yes. Okay. Naturally.
We'll see. Hopefully he can help me with my hands. If you need any assistance, you know where to find me afterwards. I will probably stay here for at least another 4 or 5 days before I head back home.
At least.
I suppose after that we will see.
Okay. Well, hopefully we get back to checking on you. So, yeah.
So you're going by horse, or can I? The horse that you have given me, can I keep that here?
That. I don't think we gave you a horse. We let you ride Xander's horse from Owl Lake to town because we didn't want to slow ourselves down.
No, it is not. I am aware that it's not my horse. I was just asking.
No. The horse is coming with us. We have another person coming along with us.
Right. So you're going by horse then, not by ship.
We're taking the horses with us on the ship, Hadley.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose I will see you when you return then. I suppose.
So. All right. Like I said, watch over Zachariah. Make sure he has everything he needs, and
I will.
We'll see you hopefully not too far from now. So.
Yes. Hopefully not.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, so talking to Lieutenant Davin, he shows you a satchel, a fairly thickly enveloped leather satchel that's been basically padded on the inside, so that the little glass vials that are in there, in like a little wooden sort of like a rack, so I suppose, are not broken, and inside are 6 ordinary healing potions and 2 greater ones. He says, I would prefer to keep a few for myself and my men, but I'm prepared to share. You will be doing most of the fighting, after all.
I'll pluck one of those regular healing potions out.
Okay. Yeah, he holds out the rest of the satchel towards the rest of you.
Did he pluck a regular healing potion, or?
Yeah, just a regular one. I already have a greater that Carter gave me.
I also have a greater, so I'm just gonna pluck a regular one.
Okay.
I'll also take a regular because I can beast shape.
Okay.
I keep giving mine away anyway.
That's true. Master Calavel, you want to take one as well? No?
You are muted.
I'll pick a greater.
Okay. Well, excellent. In that case, I believe that is all I can give you. I will leave 1 or 2 of my men here to act as liaison in case you should return, and I will take the rest of them over to the castle within the next couple of hours. It should not take us too long to get there, if I recall the map correctly.
Yeah, it's not too far. You'll definitely be there by nightfall. So.
Good. That is all you need. Well, is there any other information you require, or anything else that we can help with?
Is this the lieutenant we're speaking to right
Yeah.
now? Or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, if you see the black mist, don't try to fight it. Run and hide somewhere.
The Baron has not sent us here to run and hide from his enemies.
No, but you can't fight it. Remember that it killed the entire last garrison that was stationed here.
I see. Oh, that reminds me. The dwarf, Ironstone, I believe his name was, one of the Baron's agents that was here. He was killed as well.
We don't know if they were killed, actually. We found body parts, but we didn't find whole bodies.
So some of them might still be
killed, taken. We're not really sure.
Yeah. Some of them might be at the castle that we're about to go to. We're not sure.
I see. Well, the Baron would like to have this dwarf returned to him if possible. He said it was quite important. If he's still alive, keep that in mind.
Does he want him back if he's dead?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
So.
Lovely news.
All right then. Well, I suppose I should wish you good luck. May the gods grant you strength.
Thank you. We'll need it.
Okay. So you grab your stuff, you grab your horses, and you go back to the harbor and get aboard the Serpent, Captain Marcus's ship. The his crew has removed most of the cargo from one side of the cargo hold, so you can lead the horses in and then sort of lower them down. They have to be lowered into the cargo hold, and then basically use like a hand system of ropes and like a large leather piece that they like straight under the horse's belly and then just slowly lower them down. The horses aren't too happy with that treatment, but clearly these sailors have not done, this is not the first time that they do such a thing. So the horses will remain down there for the whole of the journey, basically. Captain Marcus turns to you. You have your own provisions?
We do.
Yep.
Good. We will leave within the hour. So if there is anything else you want to get done, I suggest you do so now.
I think I'm all sorted. So.
Yep.
I'm all good.
All right then. In that case, let us leave. I mean, I'm mostly ready.
We're ready.
All right, everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, in that case, the Serpent is pushed out of the harbor. The sails are raised. They billow out, and you slowly are starting to leave Thornshire behind, leaving the Bay of Thorns, passing in between the two sort of pieces of land, creating the bay, the light tower left to your left side, and staring out into the open water, and then very soon turn sort of north, following the coastline from a couple of miles distance, basically. Sailing far enough to be out of the reach of any potential maybe smaller reefs or something, or sandbanks, but close enough that you can see the coastline fairly well, all in all. As you are leaving, the wind does pick up, which makes the journey a bit bumpy, but it also speeds it up a bit. And rain starts falling over the course of the afternoon. Rain that seems to be turning quite heavy as nighttime approaches. Most of the sailors are dressed in these thick leather cloaks that they have pulled around their figures, and they are moving around, raising and lowering sails, tying up ropes, and doing all the other mysterious things that sailors on board a ship seem to be doing all the time. The captain is not to be seen. He has retreated into his quarters as soon as the first proper drops of rain started falling, and you are left to your own devices, so you can either go below deck. You don't have a room as such. You're just expected to sleep close to the horses, basically, below deck, amongst like crates and barrels and such of provisions and other things that they have loaded up. Or you can stand outside or do whatever you desire.
I think I'm below deck if it's raining pretty hard. I'm not.
Robots.
God damn it.
I'll be above deck practicing my move. I asked and found a place where I'm not standing in the way.
Yeah, there's not too many of such places, but you eventually find at the very back of the ship a small space where there's not hardly any sailors moving past. It's only about maybe 2 yards times 3 yards, but it gives you enough space to do some basic practice in the rain. The rain doesn't really bother you too much, even though it turns quite heavy after a while.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do much. Just sit by the deck.
All right.
Out of the way.
You continue onward. As night falls, the ship is slower, but still continuing to travel through the night. And you all rest with the rain still hammering down onto the ship. It's a bit of a bumpy ride, as I said, so most of you are not very well used to being on a ship. So your sleep is a little uneasy as it's like everything's moving around you, basically left and right, and you have to basically wedge yourselves in between some like tied up crates and stuff, so you're not constantly rolling around the floor. But luckily there's plenty of crates, so you can all find a spot for yourself. And as you finally fall asleep and wake up the next morning, the rain seems to have passed and the going of the ship has steadied a bit. There's a little bit of morning light streaming in through some of the openings. The horses were pretty uneasy most of the night, but they also had quieted down.
Sorry, did you say if we went around the north side or the south side of the island?
Well, as far as you have seen, the ship turned left after the bay.
Okay.
So you must be going around the north side.
Gotcha. Do we see the Titan?
Climbing up onto the deck, you actually look out, and you are now not far from the Titan. In fact, you're just about to reach it, reach this northwestern edge of the island where the Titan is. So you can see about 4 or 5 miles to your left is this ominous dark mountain rising up high into the air. It's cliffside that you can see. The one that's at the edge of the island itself is extremely sheer, jagged rocks breaking through the surface, and you can see there's like tons of small reefs around. From this side, it looks nearly unscalable. Like it's at least like a mile of, or maybe not quite a mile, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet just going up, and the waves of the sea crashing against the cliffs at the bottom.
Let's not approach from this side.
Do you think so? I disagree with you here. I think we should try climbing this side.
Well, you'd be
always
surprised.
We've always had such good luck with climbing things, so
Yeah.
I thought this was a good idea.
Is like over the mountain? Is it like all clouds and shit, or?
Yeah, perception check. It is actually not such a cloudy day at the moment. The wind has blown off most of the clouds. While you can still see a few, most of the sky is fairly clear. 13, 18, that's better for sure. 12. Okay, Karga. So the rest of you, I mean, there's nothing really great to be seen up there. Karga, you do, however, spot a weird cloud formation just above the island, hanging fairly low, not far. I mean, it's hard to say from where you are, but it must not be that far from the very top, the tip of the island. There is a weird cloud formation that looks sort of unmoving. That's why it sort of seems, well, noticeable. Like all the other clouds are slowly being drifted across the sky as you keep looking at this large cluster of like 3 or 4 clouds. It looks like a small hill nearly in the sky made of clouds. This one is not moving. It's remaining stationary.
Silas, get your spyglass out. Look at that cloud. And I explained to him which cloud it is.
Okay. With the spyglass, you will have a chance to get another perception check. Usually you would get advantage, but because this is so far away, that basically would give you disadvantage, so it cancels each other out. There's nothing to be seen. You just see white, basically. The white edges of clouds.
At least it looks like the guy was telling the truth.
There has to be a way up there.
I mean, I have my flying necklace, but that's about it.
Can't you turn into a bird or something?
I haven't quite gotten there yet. Give me a few days, maybe. Yeah. Wings are really tricky. Like, you'd think spidering would be hard, but actually, once you get into that 3D space, it gets really confusing.
I do remember it taking me a bit to figure out the whole 8 legs thing. So, even so, like, there has to be something at the top of the mountain to facilitate getting between the peak and the clouds.
I mean, if he can fly and most of his beasties can fly, maybe not. And if you can use the mist to move people around, move things around.
Well, I think it's mostly that the mist covers whatever is flying around.
Still, focus word flying. Maybe he doesn't employ people to his immediate protection if they don't fly, or things. Whatever.
I still think our best shot at finding something flying is going to be the Fae.
Yeah.
Guess we could visit the Fae instead of Blackmore, I suppose.
Now
we have an extra day or
that.
A day and a half, and we had what, like 5 days?
Yes.
Yes, it is now the 8th day after the full moon, so which means you have, counting this day, you have 7. With this day, you have 7 days left. So the 7th day is the day of the new moon.
Yeah, but we had a earlier timeline also.
We were going to meet the guy 5 days before.
But you didn't say specific. You said like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, we left it a little bit open. So
Though if he's Fae, maybe he should go with us.
Did he not?
True.
Yeah, I mean
he's more Fae than us.
Yeah,
he's a little bit more Fae than Xander, but he's not like Fae.
Well, we know where he lives. If need be, we can tell him we're going to the woods and to meet us at the foot of the mountain.
Right.
A little later.
Or we could just tell him that we're meeting at the foot of the mountain because he's highly fucking suspicious. And not tell him where we're going.
Fine by me, Mr. Oh, look, a military man. I'd better tell him my whole life story.
The Titan is slowly, as the hours pass, receding into the distance around you. You can see from here, not much around the Titan. The Titan blocks most of it, most of your view. But you see this inlet, basically, this whatever you want to call it, this large sort of bay that you are moving past in these sort of late hours of the morning, or the late hours of the morning, and you can see what the little bit of sights you can catch. There are looks to be blackened trees on the shoreline within. As you can see on the map, this land called the Ashlands seems to be indeed. I mean, you have sort of seen it already from the other side, but on the coastal side, it does not appear different. The trees are blackened, maybe burned or just dried out or dead. You're not quite certain. It's too far off to make out any details. The sailors have been a little nervous around the Titan, but haven't been nervous because of the mountain itself, more about because they've seen several dangerous looking reefs sort of lurking under the edge of the water. So if they've been on high alert, looking out at the waves where the ship is going. Luckily, they have not hit any reef or rock or anything underneath, and you managed to pass this area without incident, curling around the northwestern tip of the island and heading south as the sun slowly moves into the afternoon overhead. It's a fairly pleasant day, really, not quite as hot as some of the other days you've experienced on Roveia, and the sea breeze cools you down quite a bit, obviously. And the sailors seem to relax a bit afterwards. You continue south, further and further, leaving the northern side of the island behind to your left, and then you can see what must be the western timberlands, these thick forests. There's a lot of trees. I mean, this is a forest after all, and they seem, from what you can tell from this distance, mostly untouched. Several large trees towering above the others. There's quite a lot of those are evergreens, while Hungir's forest was mostly trees with leaves. There's a lot of pine trees in this forest. As the afternoon progresses, you spot a medium-sized island that seems to be coming ahead. An island that is partially wooded and partially just like rocks and grass, basically. The ship steers around it in a wide berth, the serpent avoiding any chance. As the sailors are talking amongst each other, you realize that they have heard that there's a few treacherous reefs around this island. That's why they're going a fair bit around, which will cost you maybe half an hour to an hour, but it's supposedly worth it, hopefully. And indeed, that hour passes without incident, and then you can see ahead of you in the distance already the light tower of Wondermere, or the light tower that is on this side of the island. There is no light, of course, in the middle of the day. And the light tower, in fact, does seem a bit deserted, I suppose. It looks a little like not particularly well kept. It's not a ruin by any means, but it might be deserted for all that you know, or whoever the light keeper is doesn't seem to be taking too good care of it.
Does it seem worse than the last time we were here?
No, not really. I mean, you haven't really paid too much attention to the light tower. You did pass it, I think, once, if I recall correctly, when you were taking the Sea Maiden, the mayor's ship up to Thornshire. But no, it always seemed a little disheveled. And then eventually you swoop around to enter into the Bay of Wondermere. And after another hour or so, you can already see the village in the distance. And you are going straight in for this this inlet, this what you call it, this river mouth, basically. And it has more than enough space for a ship. And then eventually you see the fairly well-known and peaceful sign of Wondermere in front of you. The village looks unchanged from what you can see, without any major danger or any major damage or anything. Whatever seems to be been happening here, it doesn't have to be. It wasn't particularly detrimental to the people. Again, Wondermere is surrounded by a sturdy wooden wall with several watchtowers, and it's medium sized, like large for a village, but smallish for a town, maybe 350, 400 people, you would say. And there is for a village of this size, or a settlement of this size, a fairly significant harbor part. Where the ship is heading towards. There's 2 ships already there. One of them you do recognize. That is Mayor Bonaire's Sea Maiden. The other ship is a smallish merchant vessel that you have not seen before. And this serpent enters the harbor and slows down, all the sails disappearing one by one, and then you basically park. Ropes are thrown over from both sides, and the ship is tied down. The captain turns to you and says, "Well, I suppose we are here then. And we still have about an hour's worth of daylight left."
You made good time. Thank you, Captain.
Well, you paid for it. If you wish to return with us, I'm afraid it will going to cost you quite a bit. Ideally, let me know now before I take on any additional cargo.
No,
No,
we took your ship because of time, but we don't need it anymore. So you can sail on.
All right, excellent. We will probably be leaving to Rome tomorrow around noon or so, just in case you do change your mind. All right, the horses are ever so carefully lifted up by the sailors and brought over onto the pier. The horses look quite happy that they have sturdy, unmoving ground under their feet once more. And you step out into the harbor of Wondermere.
Hey.
It's about maybe 7 o'clock or so in the evening. The sun goes down at about 8, so you have a good hour or so left before the sun sets. Looking around the village, everything seems peaceful, so it doesn't look like there's been any trouble recently.
So should we stay with what's-his-face, or should we pointedly not stay with what's-his-face?
Aerothon?
Yes, him.
See, I think we can maybe get a bit of a deal on the lodgings, considering.
Okay. Then let's find, what was the name of the
I would
pub?
be lying if
Something Fiddler? No?
Dancing
Can't
Fiddler.
remember.
The dancing fiddler was
Dancing Fiddler, yeah.
I'd be lying if I said that I thought I had a crush on it as well. But getting free lodging.
Okay.
I bet we beat him back, didn't we? Because we like left the next day, and then
Yeah, we're probably here before him, actually.
I'm sure he has staff.
Oh yeah, somebody's running the in-law's way.
His wife.
Yeah, you remember. Yeah, you remember his wife running most of the show anyway. From the last time you were here, an older, sort of not old, but like in her maybe mid-40s or so, woman. So you make your way to the Dancing Fiddler? Okay. Well, it's pretty much the only tavern / hotel in Wondermere anyway. So if you don't want to stay there, you'd have to find some sort of private accommodation, private lodgings or so. It is a fairly large building, very well built, mostly out of stone, that is not far from the center of the village itself. As you are arriving in the evening, there is already a substantial crowd of farmers and other locals, with maybe a few sailors and such thrown into the mix in the building itself. And you are noticed, of course, mostly Caliphos. The rest of you are
I do not understand why.
pretty much tired. And you can see two young men doing the serving, and the woman that you remember, Erlothan's wife. As I said, she's about in her mid, maybe late 40s, a slightly, maybe sicklish is the wrong word, but like slightly uncomfortable looking woman with sort of brownish gray hair with a tinge of red tied up behind her head. And she's quite busy at the bar, pouring food and taking out, pouring drink and taking out food from bringing food out from the kitchen.
I'll just.
No, you can. I don't want to take all the spots.
I was just gonna get to where.
It's a robot.
Take cover.
Okay, so what do you want to do? You're now in the common room.
I would just approach whichever staff member is closest and not completely swamped. And try
they're all fairly busy, but whichever you want to approach.
We'll go up to the woman then. Why not? Yeah.
Yep, to the bar. Okay. Yeah, you have to wait for a few minutes.
Outside with the horses. I'm not taking the horses in.
Sorry?
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to be outside with the horses because that seems rude.
Fair enough. Okay. As you approach the innkeeper, she eventually turns to you, gives you a nod, and says, "Welcome, friend. What can we do for you? A dinner or some drinks or a room, maybe?"
Yeah, I think all of those sound nice, honestly. Most of the room, but
how many people? Just for you? 4 people. One room is fine, or?
Do you have 2?
Yes, we do have 2 rooms. We have exactly 2 rooms left. She takes a look like a plate on the side where it has several keys on it. Yes, 2 rooms available at the moment. One of them is a smallish one, just big enough for 2 people maybe. The other one's large enough for 4.
And 4 horses too.
Ah, yes, of course.
No, 3,
we have
3 horses, I think, right?
Wait.
No.
4.
No, we brought all 4.
Horses.
Oh, we brought 4. Okay.
Yeah. She looked at you. Oh, I did not recognize you. Forgive me. You were the mercenaries that were here a few weeks ago, were you not?
Yeah.
The ones that fought the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I see. Forgive me. Well, it is good that you helped with these thugs. She looks over at Carlo. I don't believe we have met, sir.
I've just arrived. I'll be traveling with them for a while.
I see. Well, my name's Orania. I am the innkeeper here in my husband's absence. Welcome to the Dancing Fiddler and welcome to Wondermere.
Thanks.
Did you have any problems out on the plains?
We came by ship.
By ship with horses. I see. That's unusual.
That was expedient.
Yes, I understand. So 2 rooms then, and food and drink and horses, 4 horses in the stables. How many days are you staying, if you don't mind me asking?
Look at Caliphos.
Just for today, I think we might be staying longer. But uncertain.
All right. Well, let us make it 2 gold then for the whole lot.
Sure. We'll pull out the Zender pouch.
Party phone.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. She takes money and hands you the keys. And sorry, I am a bit busy at the moment. You'll find your rooms upstairs, just back up there at that staircase over there. And one of my lads will be bringing you the food and the drink presently. Just take a seat wherever you like, wherever you can find one.
Yeah, I'll let her go take a seat and let her handle business.
Okay. So you take a seat. You bring your stuff back up to the rooms, I suppose, that you're carrying. And
let Karka know it's okay to leave the horses in the stable and come inside.
Okay. Good.
not just like leave her out there.
All right. Yeah. Caliphus, you notice that quite a lot of people are looking at you, and most specifically your armor that you're wearing.
Yeah.
It seems to be drawing some gazes. This reddish scale that is covering most of the armor. It's quite an impressive sight.
Impressive and perhaps familiar to some of them.
As you sit down, you grab some food and grab some drink.
Yep.
So, we head for the Timberlands in the morning?
I think so, yeah. Unless we want to head out now, it's not very far away, like an hour or two.
I don't necessarily want to be in the Timberlands in the middle of the night.
So,
fair point.
What do you expect to find over there?
Faye.
Well,
we know
lions, danger, adventure, gold.
We are expecting to find, hopefully, information. Honestly, there's an entity known as the Queen of the Forest that supposedly lives in the Timberlands. Some sort of Fae mistress. We don't know if she's going to be friendly or a bit of a trickster or outright hostile, but
that's always the thing with Fae, isn't it? You don't really know if they're friendly or hostile.
Yeah.
And they're often both at the same time.
Yeah. So it's going to be a bit of an adventure. Hopefully, maybe they'll have some way to help us up the mountain, or off the mountain into the clouds. It's an odd thing to have to ask.
You know more of the land than me.
Yeah. The last guy had a map with him. Don't know if we
I'm pretty sure you took the map.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't bury him with the map, I'm pretty sure.
No, buried him with the map on his chest. His prized possession.
Yeah, I'm gonna just grab the map and like roll it out on the table so we all can see it then.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, I doubt the Timberlands is gonna take 3 days, so still have.
I mean, when we leave in the morning, we can leave word with. I've already blanked on her name. Arania. To let her husband know that we've headed into the Timberlands and should be back soon.
Yeah.
So he won't be wondering where we are.
Will we be back? Doesn't it make more sense to go straight ahead? Unless
well,
we
still need him to get up the mountain, don't we?
I mean, we could leave word to have him meet us at the Titan, or on the edge of the Timberlands or something. Or, I don't know, like what makes the most sense for us. I mean, it may also depend on what we find out in the Timberlands.
Yes.
If we find out anything.
Yeah.
We could leave a message if we are not back at such a time. Meet
Go
us,
ahead.
whatever.
That sounds fair.
I mean, sure, if we come 1 day before deadline, it's not a bad thing. But if we come 1 day and a half before the deadline, it's also not a bad thing. You know, no need to risk getting there at the deadline unless we have good reason to come back here.
Right. So I guess we tell. Well, how long does it take to get from here to the Titan? It's probably like a good day and a half of travel.
On foot or on horseback?
Both.
Depends on how you
Or either, I guess.
I am adverse to taking horses into a forest again.
I mean,
I suppose we could ask him to take the horses with him, and we head out on foot to the Timberlands.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
We also don't really know what the terrain is. I mean, it's the Ashlands, but we don't know like how horse friendly that terrain is.
What did it seem like?
The former forest.
I think the terrain would be probably pretty friendly to horses, but everything else there. And we'd have to leave them down by the mountain anyway, so chances are they're not going to be there when we return.
Fair.
Which probably means it'll take like 3 days to get to the Titan anyway, so...
As you're talking, a man approaches your table, a fairly finely dressed man, slim, fairly youngish, maybe in his early 20s, short, blondish hair, reminds you of Hadley in a way. Gives a small bow and says, forgive me. My name's Donovan. I've been sent by Mayor Bonaire to extend an invitation. He would like to greet the gentleman and the lady and have the honor of your company presently.
Yes. Right now?
Well, maybe not this very second, but at your earliest convenience.
Well, I don't think we have much else to do here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was planning on heading there anyway, so I mean, it's good to study time.
I guess we're gonna go see the mayor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Bonaire.
Shall I lead you there, or will you find your own path?
We'll follow this guy.
Yeah,
I guess.
Very well. Please follow me then. As
That
you
was
guys,
quick.
yeah, you've only been here maybe like half an hour or so.
Yeah,
chances are he's probably been looking for us.
probably.
You follow this Donovan guy out of the tavern and into the sort of western side of the village, and you can see that you've been there before. The mayor's house is a very large structure. One of the largest in the city, in the village, built of stone, and already from the outside a little ostentatious. He has this grand balcony on the top floor with carved wooden railings that sort of overlooks the harbor and part of the central parts of the village. And 2 armed men are standing guard at the doors, but they give you a nod and step aside as you pass, and this young fella, servant or whatever he is, leads you in and up the stairs. And as you are coming up the stairs, you can see Mayor Bonaire, a man in his maybe mid to late 30s, fairly good-looking, darkish hair with a little bit of silver already in it, a finely sort of sharpened beard with a bit of oil, like standing up and away from his face, like a spike protruding from his chin, with an easy smile on his lips, and he's carrying several glasses that seem to be filled with red wine in his hand, in each hand, like 3 or so in each hand. He's dressed in shimmering silver and purple. And as he steps out, he seems to be stepping out of his office, just as you are heading up the stairs. He stops and sees you and gives you a bow and says, my friends, welcome. I have missed you. I was expecting you sooner. And he steps up and sort of holds out the wine glasses towards you guys.
I'm gonna take one, and yeah, apologies about that complications. We were going to head here, and
of course, I understand completely. I have not come to reprimand you. Please, anyone else take some wine?
I take a glance, looking unimpressed. Yes, good evening and all that.
Yes, well, good evening, my dear. He sort of takes Karga's hand and doesn't really touch it with his lips, but sort of...
she looks like she's as pleased about the lack of skin contact as he is.
But that's how it must be done.
He's actually very... he looks positively chagrined at the lack of contact. Gives another small bow. My dear, so good to see you again. Please, come. Let us talk. Let us celebrate, yes? The wine is one of the best you could find on the whole island. And he leads you into his office. That will be all, Donovan. Thank you. Of course, Mayor. And the young man retreats. Bonaire leads you into his office. Sort of steps around the desk, throws open the doors of the balcony wide to let a bit of air in, and then sits down. There's already several chairs prepared in front of this massive, dark, wooden, polished desk. He sits down. Well, to victory over these nasty pirates and to peaceful times on the island, yes? Not
Sure.
too small things to you. Takes a sip of wine. The wine is quite good for those of you who know their wines, which is probably, if anyone, Silas, maybe.
yeah.
Should I get a glass?
Robert.
I mean, we were all offered a glass. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I haven't. Yeah.
Well, forgive me for ambushing you so soon after arriving back here, but I wanted to be sure I have the chance to thank you properly for your hard work that you have been putting in. We have heard many tales of how you stormed the pirate ship and even took out their leader. I believe that must be his armor that you are wearing, my friend, is it not?
It is indeed, yes.
Very impressive. May I?
Sure.
He steps up and runs a hand like across the chest. So, oh, this is interesting. This dragon scales, they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It appears to be real.
I do not think I have ever had the chance of touching dragon scales. I hope this stays the last of such chances. Dragon scales are not usually good news, if you know what I mean. Well, but as I said, allow me to congratulate you on a job more than well done, and to thank you on behalf of all the citizens of Wondermere, not alas myself and the crew of my Sea Maiden. We will all sleep much better knowing that our friends, our brothers, our sons, our fathers, and so on will not be fall prey to these outrageous savages calling themselves pirates. You have put a stop to that, well and truly, yes? From what I understand.
As far as we are aware, we never went to the island to confirm that pirate activity will stop, but they will be out of business for a while at least.
Yes, you have killed many of them. I am certain it will take a while. In fact, maybe we can organize some sort of expedition, military expedition amongst men I could hire and men from Thornshire. We should be able to storm the village now and
yeah.
get rid of them once and for all.
Yep. In fact, about that, we just received reinforcements from the mainland.
Oh, good, excellent. Is this the Baron's men I hear of?
Yeah.
I see. I see. Excellent. Well then, something that has no rush. But we will talk about this further. Tonight, we do not want to talk about business, not in this regard. Anyway, thank you again. Now, if I may ask, what brings you back to our little village?
Unfinished business?
Yeah, a little expedition that we have to undertake.
Expedition, you say?
Yeah.
This would not be leading you into the swamps, would it now?
Not presently.
Oh, that is good.
Is there something?
In fact, quite the opposite. The swamp situation has become much better. You might recall that these disgusting frog creatures were attacking us every now and then. A few weeks ago, when last time we spoke, luckily, pretty much ever since then, their attacks have nearly completely stopped. There is a few small bands to be seen here and there, but they are more out to thievery, not so much attacking. We have slain a few of them, and the village is perfectly safe at the moment. The militia can deal with the present threat quite easily. In fact, we have sent a few of our men that know the wilderness into the swamp, and they have reported that these savages are fighting one another. So that is good news for all of us.
Sort of.
Silas
Well,
isn't
yes.
super excited about that.
The more they kill each other off, the less there are left to attack the village, yes?
That's... Yeah.
It may also be indicative of a more dangerous thing finally having taken power.
Well, we can hope that it's good tidings, at least.
Yeah.
Well, surely it must be. But so it is not expedition into the swamps that you are planning. It is a journey somewhere else then.
Yeah. North, actually, to the Ashlands.
The Ashlands. Oh, that is a place that not many people have been to. Nasty place, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Well, our job here is to liberate the island, and we need to deal with everything.
Kind of requires going to the nasty places.
Yeah.
I mean, the creatures of the Ashlands have not, as far as I know, bothered anyone ever. I mean, they stay there. If there are any dangerous creatures there, I have not heard of any of their presence around here or Thorshire. But I do not want to tell you how to do your job. I'm sure you know best.
Was there any particular need you had of us?
Oh no, I only wanted to say thank you and have the chance to have a small chat. Nothing, and of course offer you some good wine. Surely that is no crime.
Oh no, of course not. Is he like? Does he seem like he's fishing for something?
Give me an insight check.
Yeah.
Can I do that too?
Sure.
Yeah. Ha! Nice.
Ha!
17. Caliphus, you'd say he seems like he wants to stay in your good graces, sort of.
Yeah.
That's the closest you can get. I mean, he's treating you quite nicely. Has offered you nice wine, and when he said there's nothing he wants you to do at the moment, he seemed sincere.
So he seems like he's basically smooching up on us to use us at a later date.
Maybe he seems quite happy all in all at the moment. He seems generally happy with the solution of the pirate threat and so on, and the solution of or at least the potential solution of whatever problems have been coming out of the swamp. But is there anything I can do for you? You say you expedition. Do you need provisions or any equipment or anything like that? I have contacts. I could offer you a very little charge.
I think climbing equipment for all of us might be something we should get.
equipment. I'm not certain I can find it. There are not many opportunities for climbing around Wondermere, you must know.
Yeah.
But I will see what I can do. How soon do you wish to leave?
We're leaving in the morning, actually.
Oh, in that case, I'm not certain I can help you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I see. I'm truly sorry, but there are well, limitations to what a humble mayor can achieve in such a short amount of time.
Mm.
Well then, far be it from me to take up too much of your time.
Well, wine's nice.
Yeah. Thank you for the hospitality.
Certainly, you are always welcome. You are friends of Wondermere and friends of mine, I hope.
Sure. Yeah.
And for the first time, apparently, he seems to notice that there's like a new face there. And he turns and says, but forgive me, my friend, where are my manners? My name is Zalan Bonner, the mayor of this picturesque little village. I'm afraid we have not met yet. I believe Master Xander, who was accompanying you last time, the rumors that he has fallen in battle are true then?
They are.
Sadly.
That is a pity. He seemed very friendly fella. You have my condolences for the loss of your friend. But we have a new face. He sort of extends a hand over to you across the table.
I shake his hand. And yeah,
Forgive me again. I was just so euphorical about seeing my old friends again.
Don't worry. Don't bother too much. I've just arrived. I'll be accompanying our common friends for a while to see where
you have arrived, my friend.
Yes.
Well, what is your name?
Carlovel.
Carlovel. I see. Well, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Master Carlovel. I am sure you are aware that you are traveling in the company of great heroes. People have done much for this island.
Yeah, I have. I know.
Good, good. The wine is not to your liking?
I'm not really a man of such thing. Prefer not to drink too much.
I see. Well, I suppose to each their own, yes? More wine for the rest of us. Speaking of, can I offer seconds to anyone? There's still a little bit in the bottle. He picks up a bottle and takes it a bit.
It's quite all right. We need to head back to the inn and rest, I believe. But we do appreciate the offer.
Some seconds.
God, all right. One more for the devil.
Devil.
Well, in that case, I do not want to take up too much of your time. It is, as always, a pleasure. Gentlemen, my lady.
Much thanks for the wine and the hospitality.
Of course. It is this we can do. Donovan, door opens. Yes, Master Mayor. Please escort our esteemed guests back to their lodgings. Offer them any courtesy and anything else they might require. Of course, Master Mayor. Of course. Please.
You follow him?
Well then, safe travels, my friends. You are always welcome back.
See you.
Feel free to drop by any time.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
You follow the young man down the stairs and outside, and he leads you back. I mean, it's not very hard to find the way back. It's like 3 streets over.
Once we get back out in the town, we know our way. Like I just missed the Donovan. I was like, we've got it from you. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Thanks.
Good evening, gentlemen. The lady.
At least we have.
And he turns it.
I guess at least we have like one dirtbag mayor on this island that likes us. I don't know. This.
The only thing that makes courtroom dealings bearable is the wine.
Fair. I just wanted to get out of there, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything we actually need to take care of tonight? Or are we just gonna get to bed?
No, I don't think there's anything.
Are we taking the horses?
I guess not.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's gonna be more trouble
it
than
is
it's worth.
pretty close.
Yeah.
And
We'll pay them some extra to keep our horses a few days.
Yeah.
Okay. As you come back to the tavern and sort of start heading up the stairs, the innkeeper's wife comes over to you and holds out 2 gold coins in her hand towards you. Forgive me. Your money back. Mayor Bonaire has insisted that he pay for your accommodation and whatever else you might need.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right.
thank you.
Back into this in your pouch.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Yeah. Actually, we wish to pass along a message to your husband.
She has a bit of a worried look on her face and says, I have not seen my husband in a while, I'm afraid.
We met him in Thornshire, actually. He should be on his way here.
Oh, so he is in Thornshire.
Yeah.
He looks a bit I
Did
see.
he not tell you where he was going?
No, he did tell me he has
Okay.
in Thornshire. It is just unusual for him to go on such a long journey. But it's not important. So forgive me. You said you had a message from my husband?
Yes. He wishes to take us to the Titan, apparently.
Excuse me?
I don't know. Tell him to meet us where he told us.
Wait, just a moment. You said he wants to take you to the Titan? Is that what you said?
That's what he told us, at least.
Why would you want to do that?
She doesn't know anything about him being involved with other shit he is.
Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to go there?
Apparently he knew a safe path there. I don't know. We were going there anyways, and he offered to help us. She looks quite distressed. Taking a step backwards, shaking her head and like running her head over her face. And you can see a few tears even starting to sort of show up in her eyes. She blinks them away and looks a bit angry, maybe with herself or with you. You're not quite sure, but she's definitely like keeping it down a bit. Don't worry, we're perfectly capable of protecting him.
Yes, I am sure you are. So you are. So forgive me. So when do you know when my husband is coming back? Then
a couple of days from now. Tomorrow, maybe the day after.
I see, and he will take you to the Titan afterwards.
Yeah.
I see. Well, it is good of you to tell me this. Forgive me, I have things to do. Enjoy your stay. She turns and walks away through the common room. A couple of people seem to be calling out to her, but she ignores them and just disappears through like a back door towards the kitchen.
I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm just...
You know, honestly, probably should have expected that.
I don't know why I didn't.
That's maybe on us.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's a little bit on him as well.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Keeping things from your wife, maybe not the best idea.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be a fun conversation for somebody later.
Okay, so what do you wish to do?
Sleep.
Okay.
There's a dog. Do we have a new DM?
Okay, you go to rest in your rooms in the Dancing Fiddler. Does anyone want to keep watch? Or anything like that?
Trap the windows and the doors.
I think we're all right tonight.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe about like 9:30, 10-ish when you go to bed, so you can rise up nice and early with the sunrise at like 5:30 or so. The village is already coming to life around you, and looking out the window, you can see that it is shaping to be a fairly sunny and bright day. There's very, very few clouds in the sky. One of those hot, sweltering heat days that you have seen in Roveia quite a few times. 18 and a 15. Okay. Okay, so what do you want to do?
Well, head out to the Timberlands, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You head down the stairs, and you can see there's hardly anyone there. A couple people, like sailors or other strangers that are having a very early breakfast, but only maybe about half a dozen or so. The innkeeper's wife, Orania, is there. She looks not that great. Let's put it that way. She looks like she has not slept much, if at all. And she gives you like a very sort of cold nod as you come down the stairs.
Fair.
Fair.
Give her a little. We'll be heading out at least for the day, but we would like to keep our horses in the stables if that's all right.
The mayor has paid for you, so yes, of course.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, and then I'm gonna just like awkwardly leave that conversation, I guess.
All right. So you grab your horses and have breakfast on the. Oh no, sorry. You said you didn't want to grab your horses.
No, we're leaving the horses.
But you'll have breakfast on the way, basically.
Yeah, maybe that's for the best.
All right.
Not risk a spit in our breakfast.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, Wandermere is on the northern side of the river, so you don't have to cross the bridge. You just leave the village as with the first people are heading out into the fields, basically, and you head north. I mean, the Western Timberlands are not that far off. It's a couple hours on foot, but close enough that you could already see the edge of the forest on the horizon. And you walk across the fields and come past by a large tree that seems familiar to you. Remember an episode with a bag of, well, shit that you found there? But there don't seem to be any bags lying around today. And there's also no one else around. So you can just walk past and leave the area around Wandermere behind and head straight north. Is there any specific direction like you want to be going, or just the closest edge of the forest?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. In that case, before you reach the forest, we'll have a short break, 2 minutes, so that people can just go to the bathroom and grab some water and stuff if they need it. and we'll be right back.
I'm gonna just disconnect, try to get my camera working. Hi.
Oh, your camera works again?
Yeah, I had to restart my computer.
Oh, okay.
I swear I don't do this on purpose. I literally can't stop myself from doing this.
What?
Really annoying, actually.
Doing what?
It's blathering on.
Well, that's okay. It's interesting moment.
Yep.
Anyway, so on this bright and sunny,
Is Kevin
hot,
here?
no idea, doesn't matter. He'll catch up. Bright and sunny, hot summer morning. You are leaving Wandermere behind, walking through past many fields that are mostly not worked on at the moment, and are after about maybe 2.5, 3 hours of walking. So it's maybe about 9 o'clock or so in the morning. not much later than that. It's just about to get uncomfortably warm, sort of. You are approaching the edge of the western timberlands. And as you have seen from the sea, so it is from the land. This seems to be a large forest that is fairly old and has not seen much of a human foot that's trod on it or in it. On the edges, you do see a few like trees that have been cut down, but not too many. Everything is quiet. You can just hear a few birds singing somewhere amongst the trees and a slight rustle of leaves in the wind.
So what's the plan? We just go in, hope we run into somebody and say, hello, can you teach us how to fly?
I don't know. You're the closest person to nature here, I think, so...
I've never met a fae.
No, neither have I. But I grew up in this city, and you did not, I assume, at least, so...
Fine, we go into the forest and hope we run into somebody and say, hello, can you teach us how to fly? That's the best plan I have, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe we find a clue once we're in the forest.
Yep. Nice.
Okay. You step into the forest. It is much nicer within, under the shade of the trees. And the whole forest, you very soon realize, is a very peaceful aura, a very calming aura that might feel a little boring to some of you. It doesn't feel like there's much happening in this place. Just everything.
It doesn't have any of that weird bad magic feel that some of the forests have had.
Give me a Arcana check if you want to stretch out your senses.
Yeah.
Not as far as you can tell. You don't pick up any magic. At the entrance of the forest, in the first maybe couple dozen yards or so, you can see a few traces of the touch of civilization. A few trees have been cut. There's like a few bits and pieces where like firewood is just lying on a small heap. But you spot something interesting too. It seems like there's like small trinkets lying around on the floated trees here and there. Trinkets that seem to be placed there specifically for some reason. On some of the chopped down trees, like the tree are still standing, the stumps of the trees, I think they're called. There's a few small trinkets and yeah, here and there, like tied to some of the branches and such. Not many or so, but you spot maybe about one and a half dozen while you are sort of looking.
What kind of trinkets? Like jewelry or?
Yeah, sort of like small amulets and stuff. They look, if you want to take a closer look, they look man-made. Like they don't look like something maybe a fae or something, or what you would expect anyway. Would have left behind. They're made like carved pieces of wood with like leather strings or like small statuettes made of bone or a little bit of like bronze and silver here and there. Yeah, you think they look well civilized in the as far as you could tell. Yeah, something a farmer or a simple craftsman would make for maybe themselves or their families or something like that.
Are these like offerings to the forest or something?
Maybe.
It could be, yeah.
Exchange for the firewood?
Possible.
And once you speak that thought and sort of start looking at where the trinkets are, you do notice that like every trinket seems to be close to an area where it has like a chopped down tree or some branches chopped off or similar things. So you think there might be something to what you just said, yeah. In some sort of anyway.
I wonder if they're for the fae or if it's just superstition or something else.
Probably a little bit of both, I think. I mean, if the Fae wanted them, they'd probably have taken them. So it feels more like a show of respect more than an actual offering.
I'm more concerned with the something else possibility, personally. We met a lot of weird shit in the forests here so far.
Yeah. Well, how do we summon Fae? Do we like sit down in a circle, sing Kumbaya, and smoke weed, or
Don't ask me.
Sorry, how deep in are we right now? Are we still on the edge?
No, you've only walked like maybe 200 or 300 feet into the forest, so you're still very much. Yeah.
We're probably not going to find much this close to the edge of the forest. So.
I mean, I can shout really loudly. That might work.
I mean, it'll definitely get somebody's attention.
Yeah.
Some things.
Maybe let's try not to piss them off.
Yeah.
Head deeper then.
Okay.
I think we just head deeper in and see what we find.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're like continuing north, or what direction do you want to go?
Maybe like northwest a bit, so that we're heading like deeper in as well as further north.
Yeah.
Like, well, the green doesn't really show up that well, but like that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Who's in the lead? Like,
not me.
What kind of march do you have? The forest is, as you're pushing in, it's fairly thick, as it has not felt the touch of man very much in the deeper parts. So you'll have to basically be pushing yourself through bushes, or you could try to find like an animal crossing path or something like that and follow that. But then you obviously wouldn't be able to determine your own like direction, so to speak. So it's up to you what you want to do.
I'll take lead.
Okay. Who was second?
I could go second then, I suppose.
I'll be third.
Okay.
I'll be last. Following them.
Okay. All right. And you're sticking together, or do you want to spread out a bit? The visibility, I will say, is not very far because of the thick, dense growth everywhere. So you can probably only see about maybe 20 feet or so.
I think we should stick together.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely
okay. So
straight far from Cleophas and
right. And Karga is going first. You said, right, Karga?
Yep.
Okay. Give me a survival check, please. Okay, well, you're not like 100% sure what the direction is, but you're like pick one and walk, and you do notice that it's a bit hard to keep your bearing in this place. You haven't been in a dense forest like this very often in your life. It's clearly an old place. Some of the trees you walk past must have been standing here for centuries. Massive, ancient grandfathers, untouched by the passage of time. Some of the trees, especially the pine trees, are a bit younger, and occasionally you walk through places where the needles are on the ground so thick that it feels like walking through like a thick, dense carpet. Your feet are sinking in. The ground itself is mostly dry, but there are 1 or 2 streams pushing their way through. And eventually, after about another hour or so, Karga, you're sort of like scratching your chin, and you're not quite sure like if you're still going in the right direction. You feel a little lost. But you have walked deeper into the forest, one way or the other.
And the trinkets all stopped as soon as we got past the affected areas.
Yeah, you haven't seen them in a long time.
Okay.
Now it's just trees and bushes around you, mostly trees, because the canopy of the trees above your heads is so dense that not that much sunlight falls through. So bushes and such aren't there's just not as many bushes as you might have expected.
We haven't seen or heard anything even remotely interesting, I guess.
I mean, you can hear the wind in the trees and occasionally the gurgling sound of a small stream running past. A few rustles here and there in the brush from maybe small animals and such. You have seen like a few squirrels, a few smaller birds and such in the trees, maybe a marten or two, particularly interested in you. But that's pretty much it. You haven't seen any larger animals, nor have you heard anything that seems to indicate any type of intelligence such.
Does it seem to be about what you would expect in terms of how much wildlife there is?
Give me a nature check. It's hard to say.
Glad we're not in combat, man. I'm rolling like crap today. Jesus.
Yeah, this is overwhelming for Karga, so she's like
Yes.
taking everything in, but without actually getting much information from it.
Silas, maybe you should do that thing where you see magic stuff.
All right, I'll take 10 minutes to detect magic. Sure.
Okay, so you stop and you cast Detect Magic as a ritual?
Yep.
All right. Okay, well, you looking around, you see actually a few strands of magic shimmering in the air, purplish lines, like whiffs of faint mist curling through and around the trees. There's also the magic of this place, the magic of an old forest, mostly untouched, the magic of earth and root and tree and leaf that is like a dense green mist moving through slowly, but that's something you kind of expected. These purplish tendrils look like some sort of illusion-based magic.
Sorry, they look like what?
Some sort of illusion-based magic.
Interesting. Huh. Do I notice like any particular path or pattern to these tendrils?
Looking around, following them a bit, they seem to be just generally sort of meandering through the forest, like a really wide web moving through. There are not too many of them around, but wherever you look, there's always like one somewhere amongst the trees.
Are they like focused like up in the canopy or like on the forest floor, or?
They're mostly not on the floor, but like maybe a bit overhead, basically.
Okay.
So not high up by any means. No.
Is there I don't know out of character, but is there like a lore connection between Fae and illusion magic specifically, or is it just
that would be
any magic?
Give me another nature check.
Okay.
I assume
it's nature.
There's this.
12.
Yeah, Karga, you have heard stories, assuming Silas shares what he sees, you have heard stories that like some places of nature where like supernatural beings dwell are sometimes protected and wrapped in sort of illusions that sometimes are designed to confuse the mind of people wandering in. You've heard stories of people like wandering into the forest and then wandering around for days and days and coming back out in the same spot that they like entered without ever being none the wiser. And a lot of those stories are attributed to like fairy magic, what's called fairy magic anyway. Some of those tales are more sinister, of course. Some of the magic is designed to lure the uninvited visitor into some sort of danger, luring them into like a wild beast territory of some sort of dangerous beast, or into some sort of pit or other potential dangers.
I'll share that with the group, of course.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts and see if I feel anybody around us that's not our immediate party?
Works on creatures of intelligence of like 3 and higher or something, or 4 and higher or something.
Yes. It's like, yeah, 3 and higher. Let me see. Yeah, 3.
Okay. Yeah, actually.
Oh.
There are 2 further mines. One to your left, another to your right, maybe about 20 feet away, somewhere amongst the trees up there.
Okay, I'm gonna focus in just a little bit on one of them and get like surface thoughts. Okay.
Okay. You feel sort of a very nearly childlike nature of some sort of creature that is looking at you with a slightly malicious sort of interest.
Okay. I'm gonna switch to the other one real quick.
That's similar.
Similar. Okay.
It's like reading the mind of a child that's preparing to play some sort of nasty prank on someone.
Okay. Good. Good news is we found them. They're very close.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're about to maybe try something on us.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look at Karga as like, do you want to take point on this?
I don't know how much good it will do, but sure. What kind of point? A pointy point or a talky point?
I was thinking talky point maybe, but if you have
Sure.
a different preference, by all means.
Hello? We know you're there and you're trying to mess with us somehow. We'd like to talk if that's okay.
Doing great.
Give me a persuasion check.
It's not my strong suit.
Okay. It's quiet for a bit, a couple seconds, and then you hear like a small laugh, like a child's laugh, high-pitched sort of somewhere from your left. And you feel a slight sting in your butt, Karga, like a bee sting or something. It's kind of a quick, sharp ping. You take 1 point of piercing damage, and give me a Constitution saving throw. That is a success. So you feel like a tingle in your butt where something has stung you, but that's all that happens.
I don't think they want to talk.
All right, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor myself.
Okay.
And kind of, my eyes are darting around now.
Okay.
Do we
I'm gonna...
Can I? Yeah.
Go
Can I try to pinpoint the location of that laugh?
It's moving sort of up in the trees. It's moving around. You can definitely pinpoint like two
different
sources.
ones.
Yeah, 2 different voices, sort of, one left, one right, both up further higher in the trees, like maybe about 10, 15 feet above your head. But they seem to be moving around in the trees, not staying in one spot, like moving up and down, or not up and down, left and right, sort of.
I'm going to climb a tree.
Okay.
Please don't hurt them. Or try not to.
Climb one of the trees where the laughter's coming from, or just like a random tree? I mean, there's trees everywhere around you.
If it's turning around, I'll try to intercept them or go a bit in front of that laugh.
Are you trying to move fast or cautiously?
Quite fast.
Okay. Give me a acrobatics check in that case.
Not that one.
16. All right.
45 feet of speed.
As you see your new companion just like with the explosion of movement just disappear, leap up supernaturally fast, grab a branch, and sort of catapult himself up. And while this is happening, you feel a sting in your arm, and you take also 1 point of damage. And roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I know.
21. Okay. Yeah, you also feel like a tingle in your arm muscle. Looking down, you see like a tiny arrow, basically.
Is it a projectile?
Sticking in your,
it's a projectile.
in your muscle.
I'm a monk.
Sorry,
I'm a monk.
Yeah, I know, but you can't attack if you can't like block a projectile if you don't know where it's coming from. You have to be aware of an attack to be able to use a reaction to it. However, as you leap up and like cast a quick glance at that little arrow thing, like it's about this size, so pretty tiny. It's like being stung by a needle, really. You look up and you see a small creature, about maybe, I don't know, like the size of your hand, maybe even smaller than that, hovering up in the air. You can see like its small wings, like a hummingbird, like moving so fast you can hardly see them. And it's holding a small arrow, bow and arrow in its hand, and dressed in this sort of greenish some sort of type of clothing or armor or something. It has bright red hair, sort of pulled up to like a mohawk, and it has a wide grin on its face. You're not quite sure if it's male or female. It's notching another arrow, and while you're looking at it, it just disappears.
They're quite small and shooting arrows.
Does that sound like Fae? Or, I mean, does that sound like the kind of Fae that can teach you how to fly? I don't really know much about Fae.
Well, they can fly, so maybe they can teach you.
We're looking for better leaders.
It's Tinkerbell.
Well, but you need Tinkerbell to fly.
All right. Can I still sense one or both of them with my detect thoughts?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
You have a vague idea of where they are. You can't like pinpoint them, but
okay. Would I be able to target one of them with a whole person using that? Okay.
You have to have an exact idea of someone. If you can't see and you have to see a creature to target with a whole person spell.
Okay.
While this is happening, Carlobel, you're standing up there like in a tree, sort of looking around, trying to find this creature, and you can see one of the branches to your side all starts slightly moving, and the branch is like curling, like a snake starting to curl around your leg, which you realize nearly too late. However, you do manage to like lift your leg up and take a step backwards, and the branch sort of moves back and into normal position.
Watch the trees.
Maybe you should get down on the ground.
I'll dip down.
Okay, you land easily.
So here's the thought. They clearly want to play a prank on us, so maybe the best way is to play along with it.
Short of
depends on what kind of prank.
Yeah.
Silas, you feel a sting in the cheek. Roll me a Constitution saving throw and you take 1 point of piercing damage, which is technically half to 0. So let's say you take 1. Let's say 1.
All right. Constitution save. That's been good. You know what? I'm gonna roll. Take that 15. And
that is a success. Yeah, you do like notice that like your cheek where the sting has happened is going a little numb for a moment, but it like the feeling disappears after a few seconds.
Look it out and flick it away with disgust.
I am going to pop a bottle of antitoxin and just down it.
Okay. Okay, sure. The laughter has quieted down a bit now.
Have you gotten bored?
You're also roboting.
Of course.
No one happens to have trinkets on them, do they?
Not really.
Have a griffin feather, but
I have
seems
a
like they're
giant,
mostly interested in things that are made by people.
I have a giant tooth. That's about it. A caltrop. Yep, that's about it.
I have an hourglass.
See, I have jeweler's tools, so I could make something.
Yeah, just real quick in the middle of the forest. Let's make something. Yeah.
Just get a big fire going, and
I mean, just drilling a hole in it in something and putting a string through it doesn't take that long.
Don't really have a lot of stuff.
so should we just keep walking and see if they do anything, or what?
Actually, you know what? I still have that silver coin on a chain thing.
That's true.
One on a chain.
Yeah. You know, when I was going to turn into werewolf.
Oh yeah, that's correct. Was it on a chain or was it on like a leather string?
I think it was. I don't remember. I think I asked for a chain. I don't remember though.
Wasn't it wrapped around your hand or something?
Yeah. It was,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like a leather string in that case, not a chain. Yeah. But yeah, you still have that. That is correct.
Maybe Mr. What's his face? Can take it up to the trees and hang it. There.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you take that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Caliphus hands you like a silver coin with a hole in the center, with like a piece of string, a leather string tied through it. Hands it over to you. What do you want to do with it?
I'll go tie it up on a tree.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I roll the persuasion check?
He's hanging it up, so no.
Yeah, you decided.
6. Okay. You hang it up, and no response. It's just hanging there now from one of the lower branches of a tree.
I'm gonna take out the 8 manticore fangs and put them below the coin.
Just on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check with that. With advantage, in fact.
Yep. Persuasion. There. Realize I don't have proficiency in 15.
Okay. For a bit, nothing happens. And then you see one of the teeth all of a sudden like shaking a bit and flying up. Like about 20 inches above the over ground or something. So moving around a bit by itself. Just like hovering in the air. And then another one also flies up. And they start sort of flying around each other. And shooting up down, and one of them drops a bit and then stops again, comes back up, and you hear tiny voices talking somewhere around the manticore teeth. And then all of a sudden, there's like a slight shimmer in the air, and two small figures appear holding the manticore teeth that are nearly as big as they are, maybe about half the size of their body, holding them in their hands, like two-handed grip, and inspecting them. And they both look at you. You see, they're both very similar figures. They both have these orangish hair, like maybe with some sort of animal fat or something, like put into like a mohawk type. One of them has long hair in addition spilling over her back, seems to be a woman or girl or whatever. The other one is male. And they're both carrying these tiny like swords and bows on their backs. And they have these tiny greenish purple wings, 4 of them, 2 pairs, that are beating very quickly, very fast on her back, like a hummingbird's wings, so fast that you can hardly see them. However, now that they are visible, you see sunlight sparkling on those wings. It's quite a pretty sight, actually, like a large dragonfly, in a way. These faceted wings that sort of filter the sunlight and catch it every now and then a bit. And they seem quite fascinated by them. You see one of them sort of running this tiny hand over one of the fangs and sort of shakes his hand and seems to have cut itself a bit. And then they both turn to you and shoot up and put the male lands on a branch fairly high up and grabs both of the manticore teeth and is holding it like that, basically. The other one, the female, shoots down a bit and stops about 10 feet away from you in the air with her hands crossed and looks down, and she says,
anyone
they're
understand
speaking Sylvan, aren't they?
Xander speaks Sylvan.
Yeah, Xander speaks Sylvan. That's correct.
Damn it, Senator.
Karya?
I'll ask in Elvish if they speak Elvish.
Yes, we speak that tongue as well.
Okay. Good. All right.
Who are you? What do you want?
You don't have to speak common as well, do you?
I do not like dirty my tongue with that grunting language of the beasts.
Fair.
Your gifts have pleased us for now. You live convenience for now. What is it?
I give
big ones.
We were seeking audience with your Queen Kiona.
You wish to speak to Golden Soul? She does not grant audiences to your kind. Look what you have brought in this forest. This one, she's half orc. This one has crawled out of the nether realms. And you two are hardly better than beasts.
I, of course, don't understand any of this, but, you know, by the body language, I go, good God, even the fucking pixies are in on it.
They're a fair bit better than you expect.
I do not trust the judgment of a human, if you'll forgive me.
I'll allow it for now.
Tell them that we are here about you know who, because they probably know who that is.
But we need help facing the Lightning Lord.
Lightning Lord.
Surely you're aware of him, or at least Kiona is.
I don't know what the Queen knows or what doesn't know.
Well,
I haven't heard of any Lightning Lord.
He's a big enough deal that I'm sure she knows. It's very powerful, very, very angry. And rather intent on destroying a lot of people and a lot of things, probably including you.
We are safe in the forest. No one can touch us. No one can even find us.
That's very nice for you.
Disappears, and you can hear her voice saying, "See, now you can't even see us." And she appears again.
Like literally, I still know exactly where you were. I can detect where. Anyway, not important.
Been over a minute.
I mean, I'll cast it again if I have to. Damn it.
Well,
if you'd like to, I mean, you can test your luck, see if you survive the storm. But
yeah.
I think it's in everyone's best interest to work together a little bit in this. I'm not asking you to go terribly out of your way.
Is that a threat, human?
It's a warning.
She flies a bit closer, cautiously, and extends like one tiny arm. Give me your finger.
I give him Inky with not the Deberis ring on it.
Her, yeah.
Her, sorry.
He grabs
the
up
opposite hand of that, you know.
Her touch is surprisingly warm as her tiny fingers curl around the tip of yours. And you feel a tingling sensation and like it feels like being hit by like a warm breeze for a moment. It goes through your whole body. Give me a charisma saving throw.
All right. Nine.
As you feel this, you also feel at the same moment a coldness emanating from your right hand where the ring is. And the little tiny thing draws back and looks at you very suspiciously. And draws back a bit further, about maybe 20 feet back.
Fuck.
What did you say, Silas?
I didn't say anything.
Then what's the problem?
I'm thinking in my head. It's like, did you
Like
do something with?
You fool. It is the ring, not me. You know what it can do, what it has been designed to do.
Right. Yeah.
You have much to learn.
Yeah, because I'm
survived long enough to learn it. I cannot believe I was defeated by such as you. You! What is it? What magic surrounds you and hides your true nature?
I guess, yeah, I'll pull the ring off, show it. It's like, I've had issues with the Lightning Lord before. It's a bit of insurance. Make sure it doesn't happen again.
In that case, we'll have to test someone else.
I'll ask Karg and Cleophas, do you want, or I guess count, I'm sorry, blanking on my name. Carlavel as well. Is like, just want to be tested, I guess, for your character.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
No, you've
That's
got at least
the
2
only way
volunteers.
we're going to get to talk to the queen, no?
Yep.
Okay, so who wants to step forward?
I do.
Tell this thing, if it hurts me, it will not leave this forest alive.
He's not gonna bite.
Might.
The creature comes up to you, reaches out its hands, like still staying about maybe 3 or 4 feet away, just out of reach, basically.
Okay, I extend my hand.
Then it reaches up, grabs your fingers with a slight curl of distaste around her tiny mouth as it touches your skin. You can technically fail this intentionally if you want to, so you are aware, since you sort of know what will happen, or at least have a vague idea of it.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. You also feel this sort of warm breeze, this tingling across your body. What is your alignment, Caliphus?
Lawful neutral.
Okay. It moves back and says, "Very well then. At least this one harbors no evil in its heart. Although I do not like the way it thinks about us. Tell it I wish a promise from it that try to harm any of our people while you are here. If it gives that promise, and it promises that it will stand with us should any of you others try to harm us, we will see what we can do for you and your request."
They want you to promise not to hurt them and to help them if any of the rest of us try to hurt them.
Well, I did tell you all just a minute ago not to hurt them, so yes, I do promise.
Right. He promises. Of course, I'm sure you understood that.
Yes, I understand. Yes, tongue. Very well then. Wait here. And disappears while it's flying. The other one, you can see the two manticore fangs flying up by themselves and disappearing, as the other one is also turned invisible.
Fucking Faye.
Yeah.
Shall we make camp for a bit, I guess?
Yeah, probably not light a fire. That seems like a bad idea.
Yes. No need to make camp. We can just have a seat.
Yep.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. You camp for maybe about 2 hours or so. So it must be maybe just afternoon or so. It's not, as I said, not much sunlight streaks through the canopy. Just sitting there and enjoying the quiet and peace of the forest. And then eventually you all sort of get the feeling that you're being watched.
I'm gonna get up.
Mm-hmm.
Can you ask Silas? Can you ask the little one if it's one of his friends?
The little one's
Has
gone.
arrived? Oh, both of them left. I
Yeah,
thought it was just her
left.
who left.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they could be back. You don't know. They can obviously go back.
I'll ask. I'll call it an investigation. It's like, have you returned, or is this someone new? I mean,
give me a perception check, everyone.
I don't suppose my 19 passive has...
Passive perception, that's correct. I always forget that two of you have super high passive perception.
yeah, mine's 18. And also I rolled an 18. So.
Yeah, so in that case, both of you do actually, looking around, you do spot ever so slight movements, and focusing on them, you see several faces that are looking at you. The faces seem to be growing out of trees. Weird, it's like a face has suddenly, or several, about 4 or 5 of them, seem to have been like grown basically out of the bark of trees. They are made of wood. They have large eyes, but otherwise are fairly attractive, like features, androgynous sort of. Hard to say if they're male or female. The eyes are focused on you. These eyes made of wood.
Nature check
hello.
to figure out what they are.
But you haven't seen them yet, Karga.
Oh, okay. I would have assumed that they would have pointed them out.
Yeah, no, I'm like.
Yeah, I'm like
them
staring
on
right
the
at them.
arm and like that's a little odd.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll nature checks, guys, if you want to.
I'm so good at nature
Yeah,
checks.
Karga, I mean, you figured out very quickly. These are dryads. You have heard that dryads can sort of move around inside of trees in a weird way. Some sort of magical. It's like swimming through trees in a way.
Do I know anything about them? Like, do they tend to be friendly, not friendly?
They can be friendly if you treat them with respect. They can be nasty. Like all Fae can be fickle creatures and kind of dangerous if they think that you are disturbing their sort of peace or whatever. Yeah, and you know that they can control people. Like they have magic that can take control of people or beasts. There's many stories of dryads like guarding, like using wolf packs or bears or like any other woodland animal to basically fight for them and guard their area, like well, their realms and such.
I'm gonna say hello, but I'm gonna like make sure that I don't look directly at them.
Okay.
Like that I don't make eye contact.
Mm-hmm. As you do so, 3 seconds, nothing happens. Then one of the figures shifts, and you can see shoulders, a head, arms, a torso, and then the whole dryad just stepping out, like emerging from a pond, stepping out of one of the larger trees and dropping down a couple feet, landing on the ground in front of you. And you see this humanoid figure, very slim, this dark green and brown skin tone. It looks nearly like it's made of bark itself. It has a very androgynous figure, but it has long leaf-like hair that falls over its shoulders and its back, nearly touching the ground. And the hair is sort of also wrapped around it, nearly like a cloak in a way. The other figures emerge a little bit, but not all the way. You can just see like a head here like a head and shoulders, and there seem to be 5 or 6 of them surrounding you. The one standing there puts its head sideways and says in common, "You told the little ones that you are here to speak with our queen."
Yes.
Yeah.
We are seeking an alliance with her, yes.
"Speak then. What do you wish of our queen? Why do you wish to speak to her?"
We are impending an encounter with the Lightning Lord. And we were wondering if there was any aid or advice or wisdom we could ask of her.
Give me a persuasion check. With advantage. You can see, as mention of the Lightning Lord, the eyes of the Dryad has gone slightly wider. It clearly knows the name.
Come on. God damn you. God damn you.
Oh wait, you have an 18, don't you?
Huh? I mean, I can't. Once I've rolled it, I can't.
Yeah, he has to use it before that. The Dryad looks to the side and says, "You come here speaking that name?
If
You
it's
come here bearing weapons of iron, bearing magic to burn and destroy?"
to be fair, not much of my magic is meant to destroy. And we're not going to come in unarmed, undefended into these woods. We weren't looking for a fight, but we're not foolish enough to come completely undefended. I hope you can respect that.
Not many outside of our forests know the identity, much less the name of our queen.
We are allied with the Centaur clan on the plains.
The Windhoofs,
Yes.
they have given you the name of our queen?
I don't think we got it from that.
No,
I think I got it from the notes.
I think we first heard of her from the Oracle in Wondermere.
We know her well. She
Point being, we've
partially of our blood, in a way.
Is she
The Dragon bonds runs her finger over her chin. And you sense some unspoken communication between the dryads going back and forth. It's quiet for about maybe 30 seconds or so. And as you do sense the quiet, you can hear at least two of you. Actually, what's all of your passive perception?
19.
13.
18.
Okay.
And 14.
Sorry? What is your passive?
14.
14. Okay, so all of you actually do hear faint rustling in the bushes around you. There seems to be more people or creatures present than just the 4 or 5 dryads, the 5 or 6 dryads that you can see. But they're keeping like out of view beyond like maybe 30, 40 feet out, far enough away so you can't catch a glimpse of you of them. The dryad, the one that was talking to you, looks up again and says, "You are the ones that fought with. You fought at the dark place."
Yes, that would be us.
I see. Our queen has expected you in a way, but she has not expected you this soon.
Sadly, time is becoming shorter and shorter.
Yes.
The Lightning Lord is planning something soon.
That is why our queen is preparing for it, but she cannot speak to you presently. She has gone over to the other side to draw strength from it and bring back allies if she can.
We actually came here for something specific, or at least assistance in something specific. We know half the way up to this Lightning Lord, and we plan to attack him soon. But we can't get up to his castle without, because as you can see, we only have legs.
That castle?
His castle in the sky over the Titan.
The Dryads look at each other. This is the first we hear of it. We say the Lightning Lord has a castle in the sky.
Yes.
It looks like a very large cloud that does not move in the wind. At least from afar.
How do you know this?
We were told by someone of dubious sources.
But we have seen the cloud.
Yeah.
And it does not move in the wind.
This is information that has been new to us. We do not believe even our queen knows this.
We think we were told by someone, and we think who told that person is whatever is in Blackmore.
Do we?
Yeah.
Well, Khalifos thinks that.
Some of us does.
Yeah, it was either you or whatever is in the Blackmore.
Blackmore?
The swamp to the south.
Yes. There is a shadow lying over this place. A shadow that has arrived not long ago and has been growing ever since.
Yeah, apparently it does not like the Lightning Lord either.
The Lightning Lord's castle is in the sky. It will be difficult to reach it.
Yeah.
That is why we have come.
Yeah.
We do not know if we can help you. None of us has any flying magic. Our magic is the magic of roots and trees, the magic of ground and leaf, the whisper of the wind in the canopy, and the streams and the sunlight glancing over the water.
We were hoping maybe you knew some creatures that could take us, perhaps.
We have allies who can fly, but they are not large enough to take you, I'm afraid.
If we may ask, when will your queen return?
We do not know. A few days. She has headed over to the other side 2 days ago.
Well, whatever the Lightning Lord is planning will happen in 6 days, I think.
Yeah, 6 days from now, yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Well, we can take your message to our queen once she returns, hopefully with means maybe she can find to provide you with a way to reach this castle. You say that it's high up in the clouds above the mountain.
Yes.
Yes.
How high up above the mountain?
Did I get an
Well,
idea of how high it was?
Say like several hundred feet, probably, from what you can tell, but like not like miles and miles. It seemed fairly low over the mountaintop. But obviously, at the distance, it's hard to like, judge specifically.
It's hard to say. Maybe a few 100 feet.
That is a significant distance for those of us who cannot fly.
Yes.
Maybe our queen will find a way. I can bring your words to her ears. If you return later, she will be able to meet you, I believe. She has spoken well of you by our allies and your allies, the Windhoops. The Lightning Lord is all our enemy.
Indeed.
Very well.
Is there any way to expedite getting the message to her? Is she the only one that can cross over as such?
None of us has this ability, I'm afraid. It requires strong magic and a connection to the other side. All of us have been born here. She's the only one that originally came from the other side, the wildlands.
Well, we can stay in the forest for a while. We have 2-3 days to spare.
That will be how long it will take, yes. I'm afraid. If you wish to stay, you are welcome to stay. We will contact you, or we can set up a meeting point on the outskirts of our realm in a few days from here. That is up to you.
What do you think? Will we have time to do anything useful south in just a few days?
You could go talk to the centaurs. Maybe they have some insight. I don't know. Other than that, no.
I mean, everything's fairly close by here, like everything on this side of the island anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we could take a look into Blackmore if we're feeling cheeky, but...
Well, it'll take you about half a day from where you, maybe a bit more from where you are to get to Blackmore.
Yeah, so we could peek in there, get out.
Yeah, we can do recon at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we maybe look for a meter on the eastern edge of the forest in like 2 or 3 days? I don't know. Like,
sounds good.
Yes,
yep.
Excellent. Then, may I suggest the place where the forest meets the grasslands, away from the fields of the humans?
Sure.
Of course.
We will be there as soon as our queen returns, and we have spoken to her. If she can find a way to help you reach the castle of the enemy, we will bring it with us.
Thank you.
It is us that need to thank you. You have already done a great deal from what we have heard to weaken the enemy in this land.
Yeah.
Our queen says that the time of us, the old powers, is slowly passing. Your arrival might make us believe that not everything, not every rising power amongst the new ones must be a bad thing.
We are honored by your confidence.
We thank you for, and we hope we will see each other again in the presence of our queen this time.
As do we. Karga will bow slightly.
She bowed, the dryad bows.
Mimic.
Well, you think now that this dryad, you think it might be female from what you could tell. At least just something about the voice and the way she's standing. But it's hard to tell. As I said, these figures are very androgynous. My name is Silana. If you speak my name to the people of this forest, they can call upon me. Wherever the reach of our brothers, and she puts one hand on the tree to her side, extends, there I can reach you and talk to you.
What did you say again? The name was?
Silana. She gives you a small bow again, and until we see each other again.
Thank you.
Try to make your time well. The dryad. The tree reaches out nearly like it's embracing the form of the dryad as the bark just grows over the dryad, disappears, and all the other dryads at the same time shift and disappear into the trees.
Well,
So-
that was a lot more fruitful than I expected.
Yes. And a lot less tricky.
Yeah.
So, shall we go more exploring?
Down south. Maybe we should go talk to the wife again, and tell her that we will probably be there to accompany him.
Sure. Well,
I
we can
mean-
at least stop by and see if he has come back.
Yeah. All right, let's get the hell out of this forest.
All right.
Lead the way.
All right. Give me another survival check, car guys. I was assuming you're leading the way. Okay. 8.
Yay.
Okay, so after wandering through the forest for maybe about another 4 or 5 hours, which is probably about 2 hours more than it should take, you do reach the edge of the forest. You're
Blame the
like
pixies.
you're somewhere further sort of west that you want it to be, and you could see the village in the distance, sort of off to your left. But you made it out. It's maybe about 5 o'clock in the afternoon now. So you still have a good 3 hours of daylight left, which is probably what it will take you, to be perfectly fair, to get to the village, and not far beyond anyway.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Should we continue onward?
What, to Blackmore?
Yeah.
Do we want to spend the night in Blackmore?
I
We
mean,
could camp just outside.
yeah, we can camp outside.
Get an early
I
start.
think we're a little too pressed on time to spend
Okay.
another evening here.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll just stop by the dancing fiddler on the way and see if he's returned. I guess.
Okay.
Because we're going through town anyway.
Sure, you can do that.
Pop in.
Yeah. You want to grab your horses on the way as well, or stay on foot?
I think we stay on foot.
Okay. All right. So you return to Wandermere just before nightfall. and get into the dancing fiddler, which is again fairly filled up, and the poor woman Arania is fairly swamped with work, and she gives you a quick glance and like a very shallow nod when you come in, talking to you, anything, just rushing on.
Silas!
I'm gonna go ask one of the other people working there just real quick if
Yes, sir.
Elrathon, or what is his name? Fucking
Erlathon, yes.
Erlathon, yeah, has returned.
No, I haven't seen the master in about a week or so, I believe.
Right. Okay. No, that's
we not quite know when to expect him back. I heard he went to Thornshire.
Yeah. He'll probably be back soon. We were just having this little singer. Oh well.
I have not seen him. I'm sorry, sir.
That's fine.
Can I offer you anything else? Drink, food?
No, we're actually heading out. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Of course. Is a step out and share this information with your companions.
Yeah. Not here. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. So you head out and cross the river, the bridge in Rundermere. And it's getting dark now just as you're crossing the bridge, and there's no people left on the fields outside. You can see just a little bit in the light of the setting sun, the very last light. You can see the dark blotch of green color that is the edge of the swamp in the distance. But it will take you probably a good hour and a good like 4 hours or something, even if you hurry, to get to the edge of the swamp. So you'll be there around midnight. It's a fair bit off. Like you have to walk a fair bit.
Well, that's fine.
Okay. And does anyone of you wish to like light torches or lanterns or something, or are you just trudging along through the night and thrusting in the light of the sort of about half full moon overhead?
Yeah, I think we're just heading up to the edge of the swamp, so probably don't need.
So no light sources. I mean, Caliphas and Karga both have dark vision, but the two humans don't.
Do you have a lantern, Caliphas?
I have torches. I'm gonna light one.
Okay. Like,
Robot.
I'm sorry, I can't see in the dark. Like,
stupid, silly mortals. I'll just light a fucking torch for you, alright?
Or equally mortal.
You're a robot.
Robot.
Okay. All right, so you trudge through the darkness in this little bubble of torchlight of the one torch that Caliphas is carrying, and you approach, after several hours of walking, as I said, it's about midnight or so, you approach the edge of the Black Moor. Here before, I believe, right? Or have you... Like,
I've been here, but not in. Like, I took a sniff around once.
That's right. You were in a wolf form and you were sniffing. I remember. Yeah, it was a while, but yeah, I recall. But yeah, no, you haven't been in there.
No.
It's basically what it looks like. It's just like this thick growth of tendrils and roots and like creeping vines and a few bushes and dead trees and such. It's like a mixture of like a forest and a swamp, basically. The water itself, the smell of the water from the swamp has this salty and slightly putrid tinge of like rotting vegetation, but you do realize very quickly that most of the swamp must be salt water, not sweet, not drinking water. The swamp itself is far from quiet, as maybe you expected quiet, but what you can hear is cicadas, frogs, some sort of night birds, and a million other insects. And you're immediately besieged by a small army of blood-sucking flying things that are trying to sort of land on you and are like poke you and drink your blood. Others are eagerly drawn through the flame of the torch and are committing mass suicide by leaping themselves into, like, propelling themselves into the flames. There's like this constant sizzle. It's like every couple of seconds, some sort of bug just dies in the flames. Khalifa, you obviously used a couple of torches, Khalifa's by now, because one torch only lasts like about an hour. So, like, say 3 torches or so.
Just trying to find out if thaumaturgy could repel bugs, but no.
No, cannot, I'm afraid. But you are heavily armored, so you're the one that's the least worried about the whole thing. It's also fairly thick and leathery, so you're also partially protected. And then the 2 humans, well...
Does mage armor do anything?
No, I'm afraid not.
Against the insects.
Your mage armor would have disappeared by now. It only lasts 8 hours.
I mean, I can recast.
Yeah, you can. But no, it would not. I'm afraid it won't help you against that. They do not roll to hit.
I know personally that around swamps there usually grow plants that smell bad to mosquitoes, but Khalifas wouldn't know this, so...
All right, anyway, what do you wish to do on this edge of the Blackmoor at midnight?
Sleep miserably.
Yes.
Excellent. That sounds like a plan. Cool.
With watches. We're not just all gonna sleep.
Okay. Do you want to light a fire or something? There's plenty of, like, broken, rotten vegetation around that you could start burning.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So
I
you
mean, if anyone else wants to.
Yeah, we'll stick it up with the fire. I'll take first watch, please.
Okay. Okay. So, Caliphus, you put out your torch, and all of you hunker down. And Silas, you're, like, mostly blind. You can see, like, maybe 10, 12 feet or something. And that's pretty much it.
I'll take the last watch at dawn.
Okay. Well, dawn is about 5.5 hours or so. So I don't know how long you want to sleep. Like, what is your plan? Do you want to, like, have the whole group ready at dawn, or do you want to sleep in a bit, so to speak?
I think we head out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, get like full long rest and then go. But...
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get a full long rest. A long rest is 8 hours.
Yeah, well, we want to get a full long rest. Oh, do we really need to?
It's up to you.
I would prefer it.
Enough not to get the...
I mean, Silas wants his spell slots back, I suppose.
Well, if you get, like, 4 hours of sleep or something, you won't be exhausted. Like, you won't get exhausted, but you will not be able to benefit from, like, the whole stuff that comes with a long rest, like resetting spell slots and whatnot. Because you have to actually get hours. But that's
I think Silas is the only one that would want that, so it's up to him.
I mean, I don't get my poison back if I don't long rest, so...
Fine, we'll long rest then.
It's like, okay, so like...
If you right? You haven't used that, I don't think.
I've used one.
Yeah, so technically you would still have a second, like one.
Yeah.
Or if we take watching, no.
So what is it? What will it be?
I guess we're just sleeping a little bit then.
No, we can take a long rest.
We can take a long rest.
All right.
Us three can do watches and you can sleep.
Okay, sure. That's fine.
Since we haven't used any of our stuff.
Yeah, it's not about sleep necessarily. It's more about, like, just resting. Sleep, I mean, good, but about the hours of rest that you need, basically.
Okay.
But also, if you take the watch, you're as useful as me in this dark place.
That is true.
That's true.
That's why
the people without dark vision can light torches if they so wish.
Yes, but it's only carried so far.
Okay, so
long rest, I guess. Yes, long rest.
Or without light.
I'm going for light, personally.
Yeah. We can let the Dark Vision people take the Dark Watches. Yeah.
So in that case, you have to Karga and Caliphus take the first 2 watches, basically. Until
first 4 hours.
That works? Sure. Okay. Who wants to take the first one? And who wants to take second?
I can take the first.
Okay. And Caliphus takes second. Okay. Well, the sleeping is not pleasant. With all the mosquitoes and bugs crawling over your skin, it is anything but pleasant. The stench of the swamp is pretty bad, even though you get used to it after an hour or 2. But nonetheless, so still, I mean, you do get the benefits of a long rest. It's just like a pretty unpleasant long rest. So you arrived here around midnight, which means you will be ready to go like 8:30 in the morning, basically. The sun has well and truly risen by then, but the situation in the swamp and with the swamp has not changed particularly. And you have a quick breakfast and are getting ready to head out into Blackmoor as another day has passed, which means you have, let me see if I see this correctly, you have 6 days left. 5 days left. 1, 2.
Yeah, we had 6 days yesterday.
So 5 days. Yeah. Okay. What was that roll? Important. 17 and 5. Okay. Excellent. And we'll call it here for today. I think, Kevin, you need to go soon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to work in like 40 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good breaking point. And next session, you will explore Blackmoor and see what kind of secrets it has. It holds. Okay, cool. We'll talk about the next potential date soon, and we should be about, I'd say about 3 sessions, probably. Most likely, maybe even just 2, but I'd say 3 sessions away from the end of the campaign. So yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Okay.
And I'll see you guys in a week or 2 weeks or something like that.
All right.
And I'm still not sure if we're actually broadcasting or not. But
I looked at the stream and we were broadcasting. So.
Oh, we are? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So
at least we broadcasted a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, anyway, so if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, that's too bad. Either way, we'll just have to do the whole thing again next time. Do
we get 700 XP or more?
Yes, you will. Why?
Ha! Level 8!
Wait, 700 or 7,000?
700 away from the lake, really?
Oh wait,
no, we just leveled up to 7.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking at level 7 dirt. No, 34,000. Yeah. See, that list isn't entirely clear.
I'll post the experience points in the Discord as I always do, and Lionel's character will be leveling faster because he's not level 7 yet. So we'll see when he will hit that. And until then, I'll see you guys around.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
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 Later.